This summer has been really busy from the point of view of workshops, particularly my Samian Ware workshops, and I have had literally dozens of people coming along and making molds. And what that means is I then have to produce the Samian bowls from those molds to send off to them around the world. And because a lot of them do have to travel overseas, I decided that because I was making so many of them, I would go for a slightly lighter weight of clay in producing them, which makes sense. But it did sort of kick up a question again that I've asked over the years. Why, when as a general rule, Roman potters tend to make pots as light as they possibly can, is so much Samian ware really quite heavy. It's really quite chunky, far more so than you would really expect from the pots. And since Samian ware is sort of viewed as being a slightly better quality ware than most of the coarse wares produced in Roman Britain, for instance, why are they making it so chunky and thick? Well, I talk from time to time about Eureka Moments, that while I'm doing stuff, I come on answers to questions I've asked, or answers to questions I haven't yet asked, or realizations of why things are the way they are. And in this case, I've made these bowls considerably thinner than usual. And my terra sigillata slip, my Samian Ware slip that I use, I've talked about the fact that I think that Romans did the same as I do, and that's deflocculate it. In other words, they add a chemical to it which will take the coarser particles out of the clay and leave only the finest ones in suspension. And that chemical, I suspect, was probably soda ash, in other words, seaweed ash, which is exactly what I use in my slip. But it is a deflocculant. That means it allows clay to be reduced to a liquid much more easily than is possible just with water alone. It pushes the platelets apart and allows them to slip over one another much more easily. And I came to dip the first of these very thin Samian Ware pots. And this happened. Thin pot, completely fallen apart. What's happened is the clay has actually slaked while I was dipping it, and it's just torn itself apart in dipping it. So I'm wondering if the reason that the Romans tended to leave their Samian ware a lot chunkier than their average pottery was exactly the same reason. That the slip, if the pots were made too thin, would completely destroy the vessel.